Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be drawing cottagecore. I had no idea what that meant before I looked it up, but basically it's kind of just cottage theme. That's what it is. So I'm going to draw a pumpkin house. It's going to be a cute little pumpkin house. That's what we're going to go for. That's why I've got this little circle here. We're going to go ahead and use this as a little border for the pumpkin. And we're just going to try to make a little pumpkin house. And then maybe we'll give it some more detail, obviously. The more detail I was thinking was obviously windows, a giant door, and some other things, maybe like a bird. But we gotta get the little pumpkin in here first. Which this would be like this. This would be like this. So we're gonna need a window. Well, actually, I kind of want to do a door first. There we go. Here's a giant door. And we'll go ahead and give it one giant one of these. Some little wood lines. And what else? What about one of those little door covers? Hold on, let me... There, yeah, we should do this angle. One of these little door covers. There we go. And there we go. Maybe give it some supports right here and here. We've got our little door. We could give the little door window too. There's the little doors window. And we'll go ahead and give it some actual windows now. Right here and right here. These are some pretty giant windows for a small house. But honestly, I think it's fine. Alright, go ahead and go like that. And we'll go ahead and put that one up. Alright, it's quite not even, but that's fine. It doesn't necessarily need to be even, but I do kind of want these lines to be more organized. But we'll obviously be able to clean those up. Alright, it's missing some... What is the sum it's missing? I think some flowers and grass and mushrooms. But I don't really know how to draw that stuff. So we're gonna first stick with what we know and finish the pumpkin by giving it a chimney. Which should be like this. Maybe not that perspective. I don't fucking know. Yeah, we're not gonna want that perspective that we gave it, but the most of the shape for that chimney is fine because this is a stem. Yeah, that is fine. And we'll just pretend like this is how bricks work. There we go. And we'll go ahead and put some smoke. Now, how do you draw smoke? I have no idea. I'm just gonna add a bunch of circles here, and then I'll go ahead and like put some shape to the circle groups after I've already done this. Alright. now it's time for, what else? Probably some mushrooms. Definitely some mushrooms. Some little mushrooms. Definitely at least a couple little mushrooms around here. I want some fat little mushrooms. Trying to make everything look a little cuter, so I'm trying to make everything a little rounder than I normally would. So I am making things quite different than I would normally draw them, but I also was thinking about doing this one digitally after I finished it, so I kind of want to have this drawing finished. Alright. That could be rounded, this could be like that. There. Then go like this. Add some more little mushrooms. Add some like droopy mushrooms basically. Do mushrooms even droop? Do those even exist? I don't know. Maybe those are flower pots. Maybe we're gonna erase them because I don't know what they are. Maybe we're just gonna replace them with flowers. And I am also trying to make my pencil lead a little bit thicker, specifically to fit with the cute style, because I think thicker lead will just work, or thicker lines will just work here. Alright, we'll go ahead and add some little grass. Just add a little bit of grass. There we go. Some grass here. And then some grass here too. There we go. There's a little bit of grass. Maybe just a little flower here. And then we could add another mushroom right here. A big old chunky mushroom right here. Big old chonkers. My hand kind of hurt because I was kind of tensing my hand right there. There we go. There's our little mushroom. We got our little guy. Alright, what else should we add to make this a little more detailed? Because it still needs detail, I think. Could we add some trees in the background? Could we add the bird I wanted to add on the top? Well, first things first, let's try to neaten this up a little bit, because at the moment, it's wonky. And we don't necessarily want super wonky. So we're going to try to even this out. And maybe fix the windows, because I think I actually want arched windows, because I think it'll fit the door a little better. And I also think I'm going to get rid of those little arch stands, because, well, I don't think they fit as well. Alright. Also, the words cottagecore right here, I'm not going to do this unless I do this digitally too, but they will be written out as a wooden sign right there, because I thought that that would be quite nice, but then I didn't feel like doing that. But I think it would look quite nice if I were to do that, so if I do this digitally, I will do that. Oh. Alrighty. Now we just need to make these lines as smooth as we can and get them where they should be, which is to the other side. Alright. Here we go. there, and then right here. Whoopsies. Right there. And this. Right. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this chimney to actually look like a chimney that we would like to have on this little guy. The little cottage core pumpkin. Now, I do think that part is fine, along with this part of the stem right here. So we'll honestly just go like this, and just do that, and we'll just put a brick pattern on this. We'll just put a sloppy brick pattern. I probably should have made the lines a little bit sloppier, but you know, that's fine. Not going to be perfect bricks, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. Then for the smoke, we're going to be following the smoky guidelines that we put out to make some smoky balls and some smoky shapes. There we go. Some smoky shapes. There we go. There's some smoke. And that one kind of looks like a heart. That was not intentional. Alright, now for the door. For the door, obviously we're not really changing anything for the door. We're just doing that. And a little trim, or not a trim, but we could add a trim around the door. I'm not going to, but I could. Go ahead and add the gold doorknob, which yes, it would be gold. Go ahead and add the wood. Then we need to add this little, I want a triangle window actually. Triangle window would fit better. Yeah, that looks better. I like that better. Alright. That wood's not exactly lined up 100% correctly, but honestly, I think that's fine. It wouldn't really be lined up 100% correctly anyways. Because it's wood. That was a mistake. Did you see that? Whoopsies. We'll try to fix that by just adding a little dark area. And now it looks kind of wrong, so we'll erase it. Reach these to the ends. And just go like that. And it's still not the best it could be, but I think it's fine. Alright, now for this little overhang, how should we actually do this then? Should we even do it? Because honestly, it doesn't necessarily need it. But the whole house is round, and I gave this one a sharp angle for some reason. That doesn't fit the rest of the house. So you know what? Let's go ahead and give this a round one. Give it a round looking overhang. Kinda reminds me of a mushroom. And that's honestly fine, because mushrooms are cottage core. Alright. There we go. That's not 100% lined up or 100% perfect, but honestly, it's not that bad. Go ahead and grab, whoopsies, go ahead and grab Tiny. Get them lined up better. There we go. And there we go. That's a little better, not perfect. There's my hair again. Hello, Mr. Hair. Maybe if you weren't sitting on the floor, your hair wouldn't get everywhere. Alrighty, now time to try and make these little windows. But make them better. Alright. There we go on that part. There we go on that part. Alright, these are also, yet again, not perfect. If I were to do this digitally, I would honestly probably just take this and then reverse it to make sure they're the same. But obviously, since I can't do that, we're just going to go ahead and stick with what we can do. Which is add a little bit of a trim around the window. And then add a little plus in the window. Add a little trim around the window. And then a little plus around the window. But you kind of want to see what the plus looks like if I make the plus also like this. I think I like that better. I can't tell. I don't really know. Go ahead and shade it in, see what that looks like. That's not that bad, honestly, if I shade it in. Then I could just like shade this, and then shade this. That's not exactly, you know, perfect, but it's not bad. So we'll go ahead and take what we get. Go ahead and add a couple wood details to the door. I kind of want to add some shading to this, but I want to add some shine to it then. Because it should be a little shiny. And this will be the darker end. I kind of made this whole thing way darker than I meant to, but that was kind of because of how I was holding the pencil. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now, for the final part. Alright, if I do this digitally, I'm probably going to want to change the chimney too, just to make it more 3D. Alrighty. Now, I think it's time to bring these guys back to life. Because they did kind of fade away when I erased everything. But that is fine. We can bring them back, add some grass, and they'll all be fine. There we go. Add some grass. There, and there's some grass. Go ahead and add the tall mushroom. Go ahead and do this. And there we go. Add our little, those guys. And perfect. There we go. Perfect. Got a little cottage with a little guy, or not a little guy, with some little stuff. This little pumpkin. Yeah. I like this little cottage. Maybe I could add like a little leaf. Add like a big swoopy leaf. Big swoopy leaf. And then add a little bit of a line right there, as it's the like middle of the leaf. It'd probably actually be like right here. And just some lines right here. And there we go. There's a little cottage. It's got a pumpkin with a stem and a big old leaf. Maybe a vine too. A vine would be nice. Right? Where's the pencil? Right there. A vine would be nice too. But then I'd have to deal with figuring out vine in 3D. I don't really want to deal with a vine, actually. I do think a vine could add a little bit of detail, but I don't think I really want to deal with it because it would be quite a lot of hassle for I don't think something that'll look amazing. Right. I don't really know what else to add. I've been kind of just trying to think of stuff and nothing's really coming to me. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it here because there's nothing else to add. Bye. Have a wonderful day. There's my little cottage. I like it. See you tomorrow. Oh, I guess I can straighten that out for you.